Hi, it's Sari from Parent Plus. This is going to be very quickie. Feeling rather under the weather today, but trapped nerve in my arm. So part of me is thinking, oh, I'm not going to do this. But then I have committed to doing these, so I'm just going to do it very briefly. This one is called I Don't Want to Go to School. So basically, yesterday was Monday, and Sunday afternoon, my daughter started, which she does sometimes do, not all the time. I don't want to go to school tomorrow. I don't want to go to school tomorrow. Sometimes she'll do it and then it'll just pass and it's fine. And then sometimes she'll really go for it. And on Sunday, she really did. She started to get upset, saying that she was really excited about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but just not Monday. So she was really trying to negotiate with me to have Monday off and taking a lot of time and effort to do that. So there's a couple of things. I think with children, we can kind of almost assume all the time that when they say they don't want to go to school and they don't feel well and they really don't want to go, that can kind of go about you, but I can sometimes go into a little bit of a panic. There's always something bad happening at school that she's not telling me about, and why would she be so worried about going to school? And there have been times when things have gone on at school. However, not all the time that's going to be the case. So obviously I questioned her and asked her, and I really felt, because I know her well, as you will know your own children well, that there wasn't an issue with her going to school. She was just having one of those days and Sunday afternoon for Monday blues, just like all of us have at times, where she just didn't want to go to school. And she got quite upset about it. And then she went to bed, got up the next day, and she started it again in the morning, but then she started with, I've got tummy ache, my head hurts, all sorts of things, in the hope that I would say, well, if you're not well, you won't go to school. So I reminded her of the night before, when she had said she didn't want to go to school, and just validated how she was feeling and say, yeah, I'm sure you have got a poorly tummy, because feeling a bit like you don't want to go to school, so you're feeling a bit upset, and it will affect your tummy because it makes your tummy feel funny. And she continued this in the car on the way to school, still saying to me, I really don't want to go, being teary in and out. And eventually when we got to school, she started to step it up a gear, kind of dragging my hand back a little bit, saying, I really don't want to go to school, Mummy. So I just stopped with her, gave her a hug, she had a little cry, and just reassured her that she'd be okay. I can see that she's upset, so I'm not saying, oh, it's fine, you'll be fine, it'll be great, because at that time she didn't feel like it'd be great. And also, I don't actually know exactly how she's feeling. I could see that she was upset, so that's all I can go off. So all I did was validate that she seemed upset, and actually that she was being really brave because she was feeling upset, but yet she was still going into school, because that's the rule. She has to go to school Monday to Friday unless she's ill. So that was fine. She went in. I could see her then chatting to one of her friends, and it's kind of made me smile, really, because she'll often ask me to wave to her, and the minute she starts talking to a friend, she's completely forgotten, and I'm stood there waiting and she's not waving, which is great, because what it's telling me is actually she's now distracted, she's accepted she's going into school, and she's fine. And then when she came out of school, she was full of the joys of spring. And I asked her last night, because again, I wanted to come back to it just to ensure there wasn't anything worrying her. So I said, how was today then? Because I know you really didn't want to go this morning and you were upset. She said to me it was absolutely fine. So I said, so do you see now that sometimes, even though you don't want to go, once you go, it's actually not that bad? And she said, yeah. And I also asked her, while she wasn't upset, because sometimes when we're upset, we don't know what it is that we want, because feelings can kind of take over and it can blur our capacity to think clearly. So when she was feeling better in the evening, I said to her, what did you want from Mummy this morning? What could I have done to make you feel better and to help you? And all she said to me was a hug. And that was it, because she knew I couldn't keep her off school, because it's not up to me to keep her off school unless she's ill. And I have a responsibility as her mum, as does her dad, to send her into school. And so really she knew that she just felt was just one of those days where she just didn't want to go in, and that was okay. And also it's about teaching her that actually sometimes we have feelings, we're not quite sure why they're there or how to get rid of them, and we've just got to sit with them. There's nothing we can do to get rid of them. So actually, again, I did ask her questions just to ensure there wasn't something she was really worried about that I couldn't rectify and help her change. However, once I realised that there wasn't, I was just enabling her and helping her just to embrace those feelings and say, some days we just feel like this. We don't always even understand why, and it's just one of those days. Because I'm pretty sure most of you, if not all of you watching this, will have had those days yourself. And sometimes it's about just getting through that day, however it is that you can do that, and just accepting it's just one of those days. And it's the same with kids. And because they're kids and we want to protect them, we want to keep them safe, and they're so important to us, we can tend to sometimes go into overdrive. Oh, well, I hope everything's okay. What if they're somebody's doing something cruel to them at school? What if they're scared about something? What if they don't like the teacher? What if, and I know they all sound quite dramatic, but actually sometimes that's where certainly my head will go, because I will worry on her behalf when actually sometimes she's just having one of those days. So it's about finding out, and as I say, you know your kids well enough to know, and it's not always just one of those days. Sometimes it is something that's really bothering them, but you'll probably get a sense of that when you start to question them. And also remember, if you can, once they're calm and they're happy again, go back to the event and ask them what they needed at that time. If they could tell you, if they felt like that again, what they would want mummy to do or to say. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks.